I started working out daily along with how I started running every day. It was November 15, 2020. I started going to the gym in my village, which was not always open, and then, from that moment, I started looking at the training with my weight on a daily basis.
Каково же это сложно тренить, но это того стоит.
The primary goal of training was to build muscle. I started training with weight every day, which wasn't good for hypertrophy. Of course, I rested in the form of low activity, in order to maintain consistency just like in running.
Это сложная штука разом. Если смотреть на перспективу, то это не так сложно.
Then I wanted to immediately increase both endurance and muscle volume, and then I was still running. At that moment, I didn't understand that priority should always be determined. Either your main focus is volume or endurance. Otherwise, you will have no results either way. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. There is no progress at all, neither externally, nor in pull-ups, nor in push-ups. The question began to worry me a lot. Is it possible to do this? There was no clear understanding of how much muscle volume I needed, how to measure endurance and where I want to have it, which did not give results. Therefore, I just started training daily, but I still put more emphasis on working with my own weight.
Выносливость уменьшилась, потому что в конце уже было максимально сложно, хотя до этого, когда я только пробовал, было нормально. Но когда я только начинал, ты начинаешь очень легко.
My diet at this moment was wired, but in a bad way. Back then, I didn't always eat good food, and the balance of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates was very unbalanced. Since childhood, I have not been friends with meat. My diet has always had a lot of carbohydrates, both good and bad. So this left not good consequences in the body. I didn't gain weight, I was thin, my muscle grew very slowly. In general, the problem was right before my eyes, but I really couldn't tolerate meat products. I also had problems with sleep. I shifted my circadian rhythms from the usual mode to getting up very early, and due to the sudden adjustment, my body recovered very poorly. I could not get anything done and sometimes had to sleep for 4 or 5 hours over a long period, which generally slowed down recovery.
Чуть-чуть есть такое, что охота спать, но не так сильно. С 3 до 5 я делаю всю рутину. По случайности уже 2 дня подряд я ложусь спать. Ну просто я лежу и засыпаю, и потом просыпаюсь в 7. При этом моя самая главная ошибка в том, что когда я встаю в 3 утра, мне нужно сразу включать свет, чтобы организм понимал, что все, сейчас утро, действительно утро, а не ночь. А я не включаю это, я не делаю так, и поэтому мой организм еще продолжает вырабатывать мелатонин, и из-за этого меня клонит сон.
Then I already began to grow well in running. I began to increase long distance. The first 2 times I failed 100k. The third time I was able to and run in 13 hours. Then I started running 120k a week and 50k every Sunday.
Десятка моя. Почти сделал. Вперед.
I thought, maybe try increasing the quantity. Do a lot of pull-ups, do a lot of push-ups. Maybe I should go here? And I decided to do 10 hours of pull-ups and push-ups. And this, like running, really hooked me.
Сейчас отжимаются по 10 раз каждые 45 секунд. Это на самом деле кажется, как будто бы это мало, но и для меня это казалось мало. Но когда ты это делаешь на деле, то это не так просто. Жесть, сейчас очень сложно подтягиваться. Но процесс идет. Бэу, рукам пипец.
But even at that moment, there was no certainty that now I would train exactly like that. I still wanted to fulfill my teenager desire to be in a good shape. However, there was little confidence in this. But I knew for sure that patience is important here. Sometimes with the help of pull-ups and push-ups alone, I will able to do what I want. On all the days of the big ultra marathons, I managed to do a workout in the morning and only then run the distance I needed, where I was able to maintain consistency in training. But on day 594 of daily running and daily training, I ran 100 miles where I started in the morning, 3 a.m. and ran for 23 hours, 46 minutes until the next day, 3 a.m. Which is why I didn't maintain consistency in training and missed one day.
Я пробежал 161 километр за 23 часа 46 минут и 22 секунды. Сейчас 3 утра. Вы видите этот рассвет?
I was not upset, as I am now. Then I was more happy for the daily 100 miles. The next day, I started my daily exercising routine again.
Самое интересное, что сейчас уже даже сложно идти. И сейчас я вышел на 1 км. После того дня,
2 months passed from that moment, and the idea came to me to try to do 500 pull-ups a day for 15 days in a row. And it was at that moment that I completely decided that my main training priority would be endurance.
Уже через 7 дней сухожилия начинают конкретно болеть.
At that moment, I again began to normalize my diet. I eliminated everything harmful, left only good foods. Then I really took on my self-discipline. The new diet gave me a lot of energy, since I eliminated everything that took it away. At first it was hard. I didn't immediately remove everything harmful. I left only slightly harmful foods, like butter and white bread. They helped me adapt to the absence of major harmful things. I can't eat this anymore, and I don't want. Next, I still tried to work with weights again, but I added to this the amount. The technique of push-ups at that time still suffered, but with pull-ups I grew and progressed to such an extent that I was able to reach the 2013 world record of 4,118 pull-ups in 19 hours.
I can do more pull-ups because my muscles don't contract because of the pain, but I did 4,118 pull-ups.
After this event, I completely decided on the direction and put my full focus on increasing the number of pull-ups and push-ups. I focused not only on volume training but also on weight work and maximal efforts. The minimal load includes 50 pull-ups and 100 push-ups, which I use as recovery workout on training days. Then I contacted a nutritionist and we began to correct my diet. I gradually added more protein, vegetables and greens, which allowed me to begin a body transformation within 3 months, where I gained 4 kilograms. This is taking into account the fact that I'm a runner and do not train for weight. If it weren't for a nutritionist, nutrition problem could have turned into something very unpleasant. And so, at the moment, I have been training for 1,200 days, of which 600 days are daily training. During these 1,200 days, my body transformed into something that I did not expect to see. This is of course far from the limit, but by running, doing pull-ups and push-ups, mostly by quantity and with my weight, without going to the gym, I even managed to increase the muscle volume of my body. The beginning will be always difficult, unknown, hard, unpleasant, long, but after that you can get what you want. Remember that patience is the most important skill of progress. Not all powerful results can be obtained quickly. It takes a lot of time to rebuild the body.